What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest is another low-key, low-edit video about the Planeswalkers. So, actually, this took me a minute, much longer than I thought it would be. Right now, if you're not aware of it, there is a big sale right now on the dual-color walkers as well as tricolor walkers. I'm going to go through the tricolor walkers in a separate video to keep this tight for you guys. And then I'm going to go my overall rankings with everybody and what you should get in that same video. So I will put that out later in the week for you guys. But I'm going to go over the dual walker list and kind of cover all of this for you here. I'm going to go the dual walkers I don't own and I don't think you should get. Renin 6, Vraska, Golgari, Queen, the Royal Scions, Tezzeret the Schemer, Sarkhan the Mad, Rowan Kenrith, and Will Kenrith. Oko, Renin 6, a Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, Kaya the Inexorable, I don't own her. Huatli Warrior Poet, absolutely garbage walker, don't get her. She might actually be ranked one of the lowest. Her and Renin 6 are two of the dumbest planeswalkers in the game for dual colors. Dovin Grand Arbiter, I don't own. Ajani and Yielding and Vengeant, I just don't believe in them. I actually thought Nico Eris might be one that might be worth getting, but after picking him up, the reason was because of the Shards of Reality token, which basically reads that if you match or destroy a gem, then you draw a card and it gets mana equal to the reinforcement of this support of your first Shards of Reality. The challenge is it's reinforcement, not shields. So you spend 6 loyalty, you draw a card, it exiles a bunch of stuff from your library, and you get 1 mana. You draw a card, and it gets 1 mana. It is absolute trash. They are one of the worst planeswalkers in the game, and you should not pick them up. They are absolutely awful. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to hear any derogatory comments in the deal. I tried to make them work, and they just did not. They were awful. Okay, with that said, what about a maybe get? Is there a maybe get? Calyx Destiny's Hand. Right now, I've got a note to one of my buds, Opper Stomper. What's up, Oppie? I think it was Opper that was putting it out there that was saying that actually this walker is good. It's one of their favorite walkers. And I reread through the all of the stuff for it, for the abilities and whatnot. I don't have it, so I can't pull it in here. And I wasn't impressed with it. So again, if you guys disagree with anything that's on my list of what not to get, or anything on this list that you're like, I love that walker and I love this and I love this gameplay, comment below. Let me know what it is and why. I would like to pick up good walk. I like nice things. I'd like to pick up some nice things. If you think one of these is worthwhile that I should have, I will not listen to you about Renin 6 or Huatli Warrior Poet. You trolls, I will not listen to you because they're awful. That is an awful, awful planeswalker. Both of those are awful. So don't get them. Calyx Destiny's Hand, maybe check it out and see if that's your playstyle, but that is something to consider there. That is all I have to say about that. These are dual walkers I own and I never play, and I don't recommend that you get. This is probably going to get a lot more pushback. Arlen Cord is not very good. In green and red, there's a lot better options for you. She's the OG Arlen. Will, Scholar of Frost, Rowan, Scholar of Sparks. It's cool that you can use their loyalty abilities twice, but it's janky and they're not very strong. They're not worth going after. Vraska Relic Seeker, I do own her. She's just outpaced in green-black. There's just not much in the meta right now. Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, way outweighs her. So much more powerful. Even Tyver Jubilant Brawler is better than her, and he sucks. He's not very good. Reevaluated him. Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. This is probably the ones I'm going to get some pushback on, that a lot of folks are like, I really love Cosmic Imposter because he does this and he does that. There's so much math involved with him. He is so complicated and not fun for me to play. He is not my play style at all. I don't enjoy him much. I got him because somebody made a recommendation last sale, and I have played him all but 1 time, 2 times really, for this evaluation to see, hey, I need to figure out if he's good or not. He is not. He is pretty awful. Tameo Completed Sage, not good. It's too difficult to get her stuff to trigger. Saheeli Ray, as long as there's no vehicles, if we ever go back to the plane that has vehicles, or we get some really boss vehicles, she will then get elevated to probably a B or an A, low A status. But because vehicles are not that powerful right now, she's not worth it. Obnixilis the Adversary, not very strong. Nissa Steward of the Elements, cycling is dead, and she does not do anything to bring it back. So let it go. There are a couple of playstyles that might work with it, so she might be higher on this list of don't gets that you might want to consider playing with if you have my top 20-ish, 25-ish that I'm going to be recommending here. Nahiri the Unforgiven sucks. Harbinger sucks. Luca Bound to Ruin. Luca Chicka Bound to Ruin really sucks. Kaido Suzuki is not very good. I don't recommend you get him or waste resources on him. There's plenty of other good 2-color walkers you could get. Dovin Bond is awful. Don't get him. Ashiok Nightmare Muse is not good. I don't recommend you getting. All right, so what is worth getting? Saheeli Filigree Master. I had her from Octi back when I was getting previews, so I didn't spend any resources on her. But what makes me interested in her is her first ability. Draw 2 cards, artifact supports you control, gain 2 shield. The last card in your hand gains X mana. X is the total shield of artifact supports you control. So there's a lot of tokens right now, food and maps and things of that nature, and I built a deck to play with her about. It was mid. It wasn't over the top. I think there might be something there that can be played, and I think that first ability could play well with it. The real challenge here, and the reason she still kind of falls back into not really worth getting, in my opinion, is because her mana gains aren't +5 to her main colors. Like 2 color walkers for me, that's kind of the bench. You got to have 110 plus life. Is kind of, you got to be really good in abilities for me to think otherwise. And then you got to have +5 to your main colors. If you don't have that, you're pretty much off the list. I mean, it's just that simple. There's so many cards in the meta right now. There's so many good cards in the meta right now that your walker doesn't have to be outstanding. They just have to not get in your way of hitting your curve of casting cards and getting into the things you need to. I need to shave. I haven't shaved today. So something that you need to be aware of, okay? She could be on the cusp of fun, but if you don't have these other decks or other walkers I'm going to talk about, probably not worth wasting the resources until you have everything else on the list. So with that said, I got my top 10 dual color walkers, and then I got my additional top 20. I want to start with my honorable mentions here, though. We're going to start with, we're going to start from the bottom. We'll go with Samut the Tested. Samut. I don't know how you pronounce it. I say Samut. It's like salmon, but ut. 129 life, really solid. Red-green. First ability, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and double strike until the end of your turn. Good. Affliction, each creature you control gains Afflict, which is ideal damage to the opponent, in addition to the creatures that it's attacking if it's blocked. And then Test of Might, create a support with when a creature you control deals damage to your opponent takes an extra 8 damage. There was the loop, right, with this and Samwise Games, you know. Rem, Carlos, Stalwart, Slayer. And it just triggered. It was fun. It was dope. They nerfed it. It sucks. It broke my heart, but it was one way to go with this. Now, why she's on my honorable mention list? Her mana gains are good. 5 and 5. Really solid there, right? What did I say before about 5 and 5? There are ones that are going to break my rule, but by far that helps to get stuff out. The other thing is, and I didn't list it here until later, is her deck slots. Her deck slots allow me to do 10 creatures at a time. Why would I want that, guys? We only allow 2 or 3 creatures, or 3 creatures on deck, maybe 4 or 5 if you know how to break it. The reason I recommend that is because she's really useful for me in mastering creature cards. So if I'm in an event like Seize the Day, but the one that you get to do the mastery over and over again, you get the maximum points in the first node, and it's really easy to win. I get her or another walker, which I'll be talking about that's on my list, that has 10 slots for creatures, and I load them up with all my common and uncommon creatures, and I just go in there and master those cards. So I use her a lot for that vein, for leveling up and getting my 10 level free pack that has the non-dupes in it, so I can go get my mythics and masterpieces out of the set. Does that make sense? So I do think she's a good walker to have. I think she is very strong. There are other walkers on the list that are going to far outclass her, right? But if you are at that stage in your career where mastering cards is a thing to go get your 10 packs, having a walker that has 10 slots for creatures is actually worthwhile to have. She's one of the ones I lean on very heavily for that. So that is that one. Second one is a Johnny Sleeper Agent. I do not like this walker at all. I don't. I just hear enough people saying that they like this walker, that it's one of their preferred walkers. Why don't I like it? Can you tell why I don't like it right out the gate? I don't have my mana bonuses to my main green cards. Now, there's enough. I have not play tested this walker since the newest set came out. And in the newest set, there is a ton of green conversion, which may make a Johnny Sleeper Agent worthwhile. But that said, that's not why it's winning. It's winning because of the color combinations, and there are much better walkers to play at the green-white level, which I'll spotlight, and at the tricolor walker, which is Tamiyo Field Researcher. Just you don't need this if you have Tamiyo. So I'm not going to go through the abilities here. I don't like the abilities. I don't like taking damage. I don't like completed. It's not a fun style for me. There's no OP way of winning. It's really just for mana gain. It's kind of I'm not even reading this. There's so much text here. I just don't find it good. I don't like this walker at all. It is here for honorable mention just for you trolls that are going to comment saying, he's good because of this and that. Whatever. It's not a good walker. If you follow me and you trust my advice and you have gotten good results with following my kind of streamlined approach to winning more and getting better win strategies, I'm telling you it's not a good walker. You shouldn't get it, but I know there are a lot of folks that do think he's good. And if you're one of those folks, comment below or get into the Discord better, and let's have a conversation, a dialogue back and forth for the others to witness, and we can have it out there in public. Let's fight. All right, Kiora, Master of the Depths. I love Kiora. Kiora was one of my first OP. We play this walker first, right, when we first get started in the game. This is the first one they kind of let us see what power really is, right? Oof, that third is so good when we're playing garbage walkers like the original Nissa, right? She is not a good planeswalker by today's standards. The reason she's on here is because that third is really strong. I was hoping that at some point we would have been able to use that third with the Kiora creature card, the one that was broken for a bit, the looping one. I can't even remember her name now. And they fixed that, and it was only casting creatures, not summoning octopi, which was really dumb. That is what it is. She's not a good walker. I don't recommend you get her. She's just here because, I guess more nostalgia. And look at those mana gains. Oof. Oof. Oof would be the note I'd put in here. All right, final one that actually is kind of viable is Arlen, the Pax Hope, and Moon's Fury. Okay, so Moonlight's Embrace. At the beginning of each player's turn, if no cards were cast last turn, it becomes night. Otherwise, if 2 or more cards were cast last turn, it becomes day. The night-day mechanic. Now, when it becomes day, transform this Planeswalker into Arlen, the Pax Hope, and when it becomes night, transform this Planeswalker into Arlen, the Moon's Fury. What would make this actually an A-tier walker? WEBCORE, I hope you're watching. What would make this an A-tier walker is May, the word May. If you just added that we had the option to transform, this would be a solid A-tier walker, and I would play it a lot more. It would probably be my go-to green-red walker. And the reason for that is because of this. Her abilities to me, my wolf pack, create 4 wolf tokens. Your wolf and werewolf creatures gain haste until end of turn. It's really the second one. Gain X loyalty. X is the number of wolf and werewolf cards you control, including their reinforcements. I want to use that. I rarely get to use that. Your first non-token, and it's for the second reason. Your first non-token creature with the wolf or werewolf subtype gains leader wolf, right? So then all of those beef that up, and it makes that creature much stronger. And there's some really cool wolf creatures in meta right now. I don't even play this during the event that's for Vow or for Midnight Hunt. The event that we do there where it's for flipping, I would love to use this walker, and I can't because I'm always on the wrong side. It always feels like I'm on the wrong flipped side. If you just changed this static ability to May to give us the option to decline, that would be great, because then I could ramp into this, do the second, and then I could ultimately go into the third. Create a Moon's Fury token against Berserk, Trample, and Double Strike until end of turn. Or your creatures get +2/+2 on first strike, then deal damage to your opponent's Planeswalker against the amount of loyalty you have. I mean, there's so many powerful things this creature does. And we can't use it. We can't use it because we're on the wrong side. Look at the mana gains. +5/+5 and +2 to blue, -2 to the others. I love her. I think she's great. She's unusable. She's unusable because of that deal. But out of the honorable mentions, she's the one that has, really I should put it like this. I think those probably are the best way to go, right? Actually, I should put her down here. She's really bad. The more I look at it, the less it is. All right, so those are my honorable mentions. And going into our regular now top 20. Now, these are pretty interchangeable. I didn't go through too much in these and fight for each position on the 11 through 20. So there might be a 17 that's probably better than the 12, or 11 that's worse than the 19. I don't know. That's preferential play. But in the general context, this is about the top 10 of these. So let's get right into it. All right, so I already said Saheeli Filigree Master, and the biggest reason is at the beginning of your turn, reduce the cost of artifact cards in your hand by X. Your first artifact creature gets +X/+X. X is this supports shield. And what it comes down to is having that third ability. Fetch first 2 artifact cards from your library. It's low cost to get done. It's not very high in the mana cost, so she is still powerful. There is still a lot, especially there's a lot of artifact synergy right now with tokens and whatnot. So again, this one's probably the one I'm guessing at the most. I think I'm guessing at this one the most here, but I think there's something there, and it just needs to be done. Look at that. I got Christmas gifts right here still. All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I spoke about it already. Number 19 though is Kaya Orzhov Usurper. Now, for Kaya, +5/+5, it's not that I like this walker, it's that I see it used against me, and there's a lot of graveyard synergy right now, especially in the decks that I play, so maybe this is as high ranked as it is simply because it vexes me as much as it does. Improved Burial Rights, white, black, support card, emblem 3 token. Whenever a card enters your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, it's exiled instead. If that card is a creature card, you gain 1 life, then your opponent loses 1 life. That's not OP, but removing their graveyard is now a viable way of playing. The rest of it's just okay, and white and black is so stupid strong, especially white. White is ridiculously strong right now. So you can run a lot of stuff that you could play in here that works. I'm going to be playtesting more decks for her. If you're watching to this point, get in the Discord. There's a link in the description, or I'll have it in the first comment below. And the reason for that is I'm actually going to be going through over the next few weeks and building out new updated decks for a lot of these guys. Some I've included on this list, and others I will be updating as I go, and I'll have the full updated list. Plus, as I make edits to this list in the future, as I find, hey, there's new broken card combinations here, this is something you should go get, or this is a new play style you should play, and that makes these jump in rank, you should see that inside of there. So Kaya, Orzhov, Usurper, 113 life, again, solid. 18 is Dungeon Master. Master. Dungeon Master. Why so high? 112. Blue-white is ridiculously strong, right? You could just... There's a deck build I'll show you later on that's for a blue-white for Teferi L. Jackson. And when I show you that, it should be in all your blue-white build. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But, all right, so campaign stats. When you activate a loyalty ability, if you don't control a card named Dungeons and Dragons, create a Dungeons and Dragons token. The Dungeons and Dragons token it's white-blue support card emblem 4, token resilient level. When you venture into the dungeon, so it can't be destroyed, roll a d20, increase this card's level by 2. At the end of your opponent's turn, draw a card. If that support has the wealth emblem, you gain X mana. If this support has the challenge emblem, you gain X life. If this support has the heroism emblem, your first creature gets X. X is equal to this card's level. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing, though, is it comes down to 6 for this venture into the dungeon, draw a card, you gain 3 mana. Create a gold token. If you have a Dungeons and Spoils, your Dungeons and Dragons support gains the wealth emblem. Okay, so that's it. How you get the spoils is you got to go complete, I believe it's 2 dungeons. So you got to go complete at least a dungeon or complete 2 dungeons, one of those 2 things. Roll a d20 is for the challenge that appears. I'm not going to read through all this because it's so much text. Here's the bottom line. The meta is so strong right now that it takes a while to do the things that he has. And as anything that forces you to not be able to do leaps and bounds in 1 or 2 turns slows you down. So to take maximum advantage of his capacity, you're limited to per turn. And that right now is too slow, in my opinion, in the meta. So... But blue and white are so strong, it just makes him a stupid strong walker, and he's got good gains. Plus the green, just that alone makes him strong. Plus you get the benefit of the extra stuff that happens from the dungeons. If game goes mid to late, he's got a lot of options. He's strong. He does deserve to be on this list. You may not think so, but he does. Next for me, number 17 is Nissa's Shadowed Boughs. I love this playstyle. You may disagree with this, but I think this is probably the strongest Nissa, in my opinion, for me, in my playstyle at least. And it's all about the Shadowed Boughs and the Reclaim Zendikar. Did I have? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. So Shadowed Boughs, this works really, really well with land objective cards. Anything that's Tortoise, anything green right now, Tortoise, Galta, any of those Reanimator stuff styles work really, really, really well. I have a Reanimator deck that I play for this. I haven't spotlighted here. I'll post it in the group. If you guys ask me, get into the Discord, ping me for it, and I'll get you access to it. And it works. It's standard, and it crushes. It just bloop, 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 dead. And it works. It's awesome. You don't need powerful cards. It's super basic. She's a very early friendly with all the cards in meta, newer collector, player friendly. Great life. She does not have +5/+5. That's my only criticism of her. She does not have +5/+5 to her main color. She should. I'd rather she has -2 to white and red and give +5/+5, but it is what it is. However, these abilities are strong, and it's really about her third, Reclaim Zendikar. When you cast a creature, return the first creature card from your graveyard to your hand with Tortoise and the other things that are in standard right now that feed the yard. That's just good. Berserker and gain X mana. X is the number of black gems. When a creature you control dies, the first creature in your hand gains Y mana, which is green gems. And with all the green conversion that's in there, it's just chef's kiss. So anything that can loop to destroy a creature, which I show you how to do, you just have stupid powerful stuff. And then if you're looping creatures like Galta, yeah, you win. It's game over. And it's win more because the creatures are so big right now, you don't need any shenanigans. You can just win. She's awesome. She's fun. I love playing with her. I think you might too. Urza Lord Protector. Urza slightly ekes her out just because of all the artifact synergy that he has. I'm not going to go into much detail about him. 119 life. Blue-white is stupid strong right now. And then, yeah, he's just really strong. I don't know how else to put it. He lacks for nothing. The most complicated thing that makes him lower on this list than he should be is the fact that, and he's not in my top 10, is because it's tricky sometimes to go back and forth between the first section, or really it's not even going back and forth, it's just getting to your second ability. You have to play the Weak Stone, you have to play Urza Lord Protector. Those are provided to you by the deck, by the Walker themselves, so those will always be standard. When that rotates out, those two cards will be available here. They're not great cards, but they're not bad cards either. So, and it does force you to play around artifact synergy, so you have to do that. That is one of the things you must do. Ish. But there's a lot of really good things in the meta right now. I have to go update his deck. I will be doing that inside of the Discord. Come in and I will share those for you. All right. Number 15, Huatli Radiant Champion. A lot of creature synergy, green-white, very synergistic, +5/+5 as you can see. Her third ability is what it's about. You spam your first, you get your third out as soon as you can, or you hit your third. It should be every turn. And if you have Faithbound Judge or the Wish spell, the new Wish spell from Lost Caverns of Ixalan, LCI, man, you're just, every turn you're doing it. And you should have a ton of creatures on board because you're just converting the board like nuts because green is stupid good. And Galta. Everything's Galta. Galta, all the things. Galta. Might be the creature of the set so far. Tezzeret, Master of Bridge, is number 14. Artifact Synergy, very simple. He does not have the +5. That's his one big downplay. 111 life, everything's fine here. Exile the first 10 cards from your library, then move the first 6 non-spell artifacts from your exile to play under your control. Portal to Phyrexia is probably my favorite one right now because there's so many good ways to cheat it out as expensive as it is. And then this from your first one, support card Artifact Emblem 3 token at the beginning of your turn. The first creature and the first Vanguard support in your hand gain X mana. X is the number of artifacts you control, so they have to be on the board. But with tokens and gems and I think you can run Guillaume. Actually, you can run Guillaume. So I got to update his deck with Guillaume and Shatbros and see if that's something that's going to be effective. Insert fart swing here. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time. All right. 13. Kaido Dancing Shadow. I actually think I want to rank him. I want to rank Tezzeret higher than Dancing Shadow. The only reason he's ranked as high as he is, he should probably be lower, is because if I'm not going to bore you with this. I did a full video. You guys can go watch the spotlight on it, and it still has the card that's relevant to this. It's a Tainted Adversary. Tainted Adversary with his first and third ability, or second ability, whatever it is. Yeah, it's a second ability. Is stupid strong. It's just GG. Right, and then I haven't even play tested any of the new cards with him, so he might actually rank higher depending on the cards in meta right now. He has the right mana gains, and that might slightly eke him out ahead of Tezzeret, and he's not limited to artifacts. So, you know, never mind. I think he is in the right slot. So Kato Dancing Shadow is solid, and there's a lot of things to build around with the new set. This is one of my favorite playstyles. I love Snag and Sack. I love it. I'll spotlight a build for him here soon because I have a whole new updated one for him. Angrith Flamechained. He does not have the +5 and he ranks this high. That's one of my big criticisms to him. But it's really all about his third, Fiery Demise. Create a support whenever a card enters your opponent's graveyard from anywhere. Deal 6 damage to your opponent from anywhere. And there's a lot of graveyard fill right now. There's a ton of different ways to do it. It used to be Gyruda, but there's a lot of fun simple ways to get it done, but it's only just when a card. It's not a creature. For some reason, I was thinking it was a creature. Plus, it has 2 treasure tokens, which work well with Shatbros and Guillaume and that kind of stuff. So, just a lot of synergy with what's in standard right now. And the deck that I have from him is a lot of fun. You basically take their creatures, sacrifice them, make your creatures bigger, biggie, and then you go from there. A lot of fun. I love Angrith. I rarely play with him because Bolas exists. Now, you're probably going to be shocked to see that Quintarius Canned is as high on this list as he is. As of this recording, I haven't posted my Quintarius Canned, and he's still in the deal for taking. You can pick him up in from IRL cash right now. 130 life, ridiculous. One of the highest life totals for a dual-color Walker. His first and third are stupid strong. Exile the top 9 cards from your library. They get a certain emblem. Those are the only cards that count, so you just spam that a couple of times. Faithbound Judge, the Wish spell. You can even use Sigarda Host of Herons to ramp into your third, and then just decimate your opponent's face. Put that thing on the board and then just spam your first again. He wins all on his own. He is a very powerful walker, very good. I highly recommend him. A lot of fun to at least pick up for gold when you can. At the beginning of your turn, deal X damage to your opponent's Planeswalker and destroy X non-red gems. X is the number of cards in your Lorehold emblem in your exile. He's a natural fit for Koth Vanguard. I like him a lot. He's a lot of fun. I haven't played him since then, but I think he's solid. All right, so those are my top 20. Let's get into the top 10s. You ready? All right, here we go, my friend. Ashiok, Sculptor of Fears. This one I do have a deck spotlight for him. 117 life, not the 5 mana gains. Guys, you're not doing the thing. You said there was a lie. I know. I promised, and I don't, and it's a lie. You get a Night Terror token, destroy the top 4 cards of each player's library, then draw a card. There's a very specific reason why this walker is as high in my top 10, and it's when a creature card enters any player's graveyard from their library, your opponent loses 2 life. And the reason this is so significant is because of Shieldred. Shieldred is stupid powerful. This is a look at the deck that I'm playing with her. This has not been updated since LCI came out, so I probably will take out Tamiyo and add some other stuff to this that would work well with this, but it's all about support. She's the only creature I have on board. I'm trying to get her out. I'm trying to feed the yard as much as possible on both sides from the library, and then flip her and then take their creatures and beat them silly. This is my new Tergrid Steal Your Girl. This is my Ashiok Steal Your Girl. This strategy is much better, and this is a much better walker than Valiana. I don't care what you guys say about Valiana. This right here decimates her. If you see Valiana across from you and you have this build, and you have Ashiok, Sculptor of Fears, run this. I guarantee you're going to love it. She will get destroyed. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I haven't revealed this one yet. I will do a full spotlight on it here very soon. So Ashiok, Sculptor of Fears, number 10. Number 9. I actually had this walker so much lower before coming into this, and then I rewatched my video playing with her and my review of it. Like, what did I rank her beforehand? She's really good. Intangible Slayer. And it's all because of her secondary ability. Now, I played 2 versions of this build, one without Jaleva, and then ultimately putting Jaleva back in. You need Jaleva to fill this up. Or your other option is you exile cards from hand, creature cards from hand, to get to the point where you have enough creatures that your secondary ability works. I am playtesting the Ancient one, so this is a testing deck. The Ancient one does get Leader for Spirits, but only after Descend hits 4. Descend really sucks. I really wished it was stronger than that. But her mana gains make it better. She's got the right mana gains that I like. I like +5/+5/+2 and -2s. I think this is my favorite mana setup for dual color walkers. I love this playstyle. This was a lot of fun to play. And Healer of the Pride, I know. Chase it. You got to go get it. It's such a strong card. It's always going to be in Standard, because you pair that Healer of the Pride with Fist of Suns, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit more. Oh my god, it's so powerful. It's so stupid good. I don't know why. It's not new. It's been around forever, and I just didn't start using it until recently. And I'm like, why wasn't I doing? Like, this is such a complete engine, all on its own. But you blow up the board, Wild Research triggers to draw. Oh my god. It's disgusting. I love it. Kaya, Intangible Slayers. I rank Kalemni higher than her, but again, mana gains where you want them, +5s. Greater Avatar Eros, when you activate a loyalty ability, you gain 1 experience point. When you cast a creature card with a base cost 14 or greater, you gain 2 experience points. While on the board, your first creature gets +X/+X and gains haste. X is equal to your experience points. I love that. This is such a good first ability. It's solid. You fetch a creature that's cost 14 or more. Faithbound Judge is kind of a typical grab, so you can get it on the board or kill it or do whatever you need to. Big Score is another one where you discard a card and draw cards. That's kind of an auto include that I would do with that, so I can use my loyalty ramp as much as possible. And then Greater Triumph, Giant's Tramp in your third. Resilient, when a creature you control with base cost 14 or greater attacks, it deals damage equal to its power to your opponent's Planeswalker and to the first opposing creature. So this is similar to Samet's ability, but it's stronger. It's much better. Yeah, much better. Much better. This is a really solid walker. I don't use her as much, but she is really good. 128 life. Come on, man. She's OP. She's really strong. If you don't have her, do yourself a favor. Pick her up as soon as you can. Number 7, Daxos the Returned. I probably would flip Kalemni and Daxos here. And the reason for that is because he's slower. He's that one of those ones, doesn't have the mana gains. Yeah, I would rank him a little bit lower now that I'm actually sitting here recording this. Probably 8 or 9. He's still in my top 10, but not as high as Calamity or some of these others. I know, I'm changing it. Just deal with me, okay? Edelong, the Longing, four loyalty to cast. Create a greater Edelong of Longing token, fetch a first aura or enchantment card from your library. A lot of lockdown. You can use Sigarda's entrapment or whatever, the one that basically locks them down. So you can lock down their opponents. It's a strong control walker. He's very good at it. I have people inside the Discord that just speak volumes about what they think this walker is, why it's good. And they're not wrong. It's a really good walker, especially if you're a newer player. If you're a newer player and you're looking to get a leg up and you don't have yet the resources to go do a 3-color walker like Bolas 1 or Dakin, which I still recommend are the top 2 for new players. But if you've got those and you're looking for some other excitement, or you pick this up just because you really like the playstyle, you're not wrong. It's a really good walker. When you activate a loyalty ability, you gain 1 experience point. When you this would need to be 3. I would really like it to be 3. When you cast an aura or enchantment card, you gain 1 experience points. There's no limit to that, so you can do a bunch of them. At the end of your turn, this creature's base power and toughness become XX. X is equal to your experience points. I would love it to be at the beginning of your turn, because and until it doesn't go away, it stays there permanently. So the more you have, the more experience you have, the stronger the creature gets. He's really solid. It's got a good finisher, plenty of lockdown with that aura fetch. He's really good, and it costs nothing to get into his first. All of his loyalty abilities are cheap as cheap. So solid card, not a solid walker. I can't really complain anything. I don't have a deck for you on there, but I will be doing an update on there. Come let me know. 6th place, Hero of Dominaria, Teferi. 102 life, low mana gains. Honestly, I probably should put him probably 9 or 10. He's still top 10, but I probably should put him lower. Return target creature that costs 12 or less from your opponent's hand and increase its cost by 5. This needs to be updated. Just be any creature that's on the board. Anything. Maybe non-token. I don't know. Return target creature that costs... I mean, it's good against Pajani, because you can take his token stack and throw it up to hand and really destroy it. The second ability is okay, draw 4 cards and gain 1 extra swap, which is nice, but there's a lot of cards in Standard that do that for you. It's really about his third. 21 loyalty for Major Zelfari's Fate. Whenever you draw a card, your opponent loses a reinforcement. If they can't, then they exile a creature. If they can't, they exile a support. If they can't, increase the cost of cards in their hand by 1. This hits... I want to say it hits Vanguards. I'm not sure, though, because I think it has to. I think the rule that came down was if it doesn't specifically say it targets Vanguards, it doesn't target Vanguards. So maybe it doesn't. But if you guys could comment below and let me know, I forgot. I haven't played with him in a minute, but for newer players especially, he is super solid to get ramp into that third and get into control. I actually think Daxos is probably better than him, frankly, from a control standpoint, if you have the right cards. He does control all on his own. So if you don't have any of the common and uncommon, like can attack or disable cards, this is really the guy to go with. And there's a build I'm going to show here in a minute that if you have the cards for it, he just is dominant. So it is what it is. I like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. He does have a special place in my heart. His mana gains are really too low. But it doesn't matter in blue and white. Blue and white is so stupid OP right now. And maybe that just gives him the edge over Daxos. I don't know. Domri Chaosbringer is number 5. 123 life. He is stupid. This is one of those ones where I got to thank Nalthazar. He's the one that actually said, hey, you need to go pick this guy up. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't see a real reason for him compared to like Samet. Samet's got better mana gains. Like, just go get him. I'm like, okay. So I picked him up. And it took me a while before I really dug into him. And we know the state of green. Green might be the strongest color set right now. In fact, I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say that it is, with Galta now and Tortoise. And God, green is so stupid strong. I don't know, man. White's stupid strong too. What do you guys think? White or green? Which is more powerful? Or what's the most powerful color? Comment below. Draw a card. The first 2 creatures in your hand gain Riot. I don't use that. Fetch the first 2 creatures from your library. Then they gain 8 mana and they gain trample. I don't use that. Create a major hunting ground token. This is all I use. At the end of each turn, reinforce your first creature. If you can't, create a Gruul Beast token. Your creatures with power 5 or more gain trample and berserk. This is great as long as Phyrexian Vindicator is not on the opposite side of you. If you're facing white, I might not run this build or run him against it just because you're going to be laying waste to their creatures. Anything other than white, I'm taking you out, man. I'm running over your creatures. I'm destroying everything you have, and I'm doing it in a big way. And 2 words for you, Galta. Galta. He's very strong, very fun, and if you're a Timmy and you like running with big creatures, yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Do I like him better than Garruk Unleashed? I actually like Garruk better. I like Garruk's abilities better. It's just he's limited to green only, but green is so strong it doesn't matter. So there you go. Speaking of Garruk, Cursed Huntsman. Very good if you're new. This is absolutely one of the first walkers you might want to consider getting for a green perspective. Kasmina, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Garruk Curse Huntsman, 123 life, not enough mana gains. It's part of the reason why he's as low as he is. But the improved Cursed Perdition, while you control a creature with the greatest power, your creatures gain Berserk, Trample, and Death Touch at the end of your turn. Your non-human creatures get +4/+4. He's stupid strong, but it's really about a secondary. Destroy target creature, then gain life equal to the toughness and draw 2 cards. That is one of the sickest second abilities in the game. You don't get any mana for it, but he doesn't need it. He's so stinking strong. He's really, really, really good. I adore him. I think Garruk is one of the best early walkers and to get for mid-level collectors. He'll serve you as a beginner up to mid-level, and then you'll replace him with something like, there's no tricolor black-green right now, but even then, Tamiyo Field Researcher is an easy outdo for him. All right, number 3. I worked hard on this Photoshop. You better give me a like and subscribe just for it. Look at this face. Look at my man. Teferi, I even matched the skin color. My goodness. Teferi Okoso Salafar, 97. Too low of a life total. Good in the positive mana gains. I was lower on him than I was lower on him when I reviewed him. He is absolutely one of the best walkers in the game. For blue-white too, he's one of my favorite. Absolutely one of my favorite. I cannot express how strong this first ability is. It is really stupid good. For 5 loyalty, discard the last card in your hand, then draw 2 cards. Both cards gain 5 mana. So I don't have to have any mana. I don't have to do any trickery or shenanigans. I ditch a card, I get 2 cards. I have hand advantage, and they have mana. It's stupid. I cut the cost of those cards down by 5. If a creature card was disabled or discarded this way, create 2 white knight tokens. Obviously, I'm throwing Faithbound Judge. This is one of the new things I'm going to start doing, too, so you guys can see the deck slots. I'm going to show the editing version so you can see how big things can get. He's got 8 spell slots and only 5 supports, which supports are actually pretty strong right now in the meta, but 8 creature spell slots, it gives him so much flexibility. You don't need 6 creature slots. I don't know why. 4 or 5 max. 4 is really all you need for the most part. Anyways, I digress. This is a look at the deck I'm running right now. This is just cruel and unusual. I'm sorry to release this on the meta right now, but this deck build in blue and white is dominant. And it's not even released. It's just kind of popularizing this. This is something that should have already been out there. The core of it is Healer of the Pride, Wild Research, Ambiguity, and then Fist of Suns. Oh my god. Golden Wish costs so much to cast. It doesn't matter. You use Golden Wish to go get Portal to Phyrexia. You ditch their creatures. Moonshaker but it's such a small creature. Yeah, Moonshaker. It is disgusting. This is the most controlling deck that I'm playing right now. And it has my favorite mana gains for dual color walker, +5/+5/+2, and then -2s. My only criticism on him is the knights don't stack with other knight token stuff you try to do, which isn't really a big criticism for this deck. It doesn't matter. But they're allies, they're knight allies, so they don't stack with other knight tokens, which is stupid. Thanks, Octagon. I don't know why you guys did that. It was really, really dumb. They're 2/2 tokens, or give this knight ally leader for just knight tokens. That would have been dope. That would have been really, really, really cool. That would make that much better. But the tokens get in the way. They're good for Healer of the Pride, but then other than that, they just get in the way. They're good if you're behind and you need to catch up. I mean, there's function to it, but late game when you're trying to win, it's just kind of annoying to click off from. Anyways, first world all card problems, right? I have all cards. Those are problems that only all card havers have. This is a stupid deck. I highly recommend you screenshot this and go play it. And yes, share the love that is Teferi Okoso of Zalafir. Teferi L. Jackson is my number 3 dual color walker. Think about that. Strong. All right, my number 2, Kasmina Enigma Sage. I don't know what to say about this that hasn't already been said. She's got my favorite color bonuses, 118. Green-blue is stupid strong right now. Fractal tokens aren't the thing. Unsolved Enigma is. Her secondary ability is really what's at. Create an Unsolved Enigma token, then copy the first spell card in your hand. That card gains full mana. Convert all gems on the board to a random color. What do you want? Thunderous Debut. You can go get 2 of those, right? And usually the conversions on the board is enough to... here's one thing I love that they did with this walker that they need to do with all the other ones. If you shuffle the board, it should convert. Shuffling the board should offer conversion. It doesn't. I was so excited over shuffle mechanic when it first came out, thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be great. It wasn't. It's good. The only thing it does is it gets your supports, which always end in the corner, out of the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner, right? Insert the meme here. That's what would happen here. Okay. So this is really great for that. But it doesn't move it out of there, but it does allow you to just frack the board. I mean, you're just fracking the frack out of it. It's so awesome. And the third is solid for finishing. Draw 3 cards and increase your non-spell cards level by X. Your creatures get +X+X. Your supports gain X shield. X is the number of cards in your hand. Solid. You're always going to have full hand. The secondary ability, the other thing that goes into is you get to draw cards from Strixhaven. You get to go pull cards from Strixhaven that are out of standard, but they'll always be in standard with her. She is absolutely one of the most, if not the most powerful dual color walker in the game. A lot of you may put her number 1, which I completely understand. That's fine. But not in my category. My number 1 is absolutely the number 1. When you activate a loyalty ability, re-enable your Vanguard abilities. I never play with that. I never play with that. I always forget about that. So you activate your loyalty ability on your Vanguards, or a Vanguard ability. You use your loyalty ability, and then you go use your Vanguard abilities again. I totally forgot about that. I haven't done that in so long. Oh my gosh, she's so stupid powerful. If you don't have her, do yourself a favor. She is your first green walker you should get. But yeah, Kasmina. If you don't own her. She is your green walker. She's amazing. Until you get Tamio, Field Researcher, which I actually like more. All right, you ready? Number 1, hands down. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. I don't care. Number 1, Sorin Grim Nemesis. Easy number 1. Easy number 1. Look at gain 4 life, and then 2 mana per creature you control. With all the creature token generations right now, you just gain a stack of life. Yes, I know his life total's low. Yes, I know he doesn't match the +4/+4. But the second and third ones are really where it's at. Summon a support with when each creature you control attacks, you gain. You didn't think for a second I was gonna have Sorin in here as my number 1, did you? I'm fooling y'all. Sorin was one of my favorite. He was the first Planeswalker I got that was my dual color walker. After I started, he was the first one I got. The mana gains suck. His abilities suck. There's just nothing really great about him. He was good when we had Veto infield when you do damage for gaining life and stuff, but other than that, he's not great. I love you, Sorin, but you're not number 1. You guys know who my number 1 is. It is actually Rahl Izzet Viceroy. 102 to life, so it's a little lower than I like, but he's got the +5/+5. He doesn't have the full mana gains I like, but it's not bad. His first ability is what's at. Pick one of the top 4 cards from your library, fetch that card, and give it 6 mana, then destroy the others. I got to tell you, man, I think Teferi L. Jackson is right on par with it. I think his first ability is actually probably better than this one. But the color combination for me is where it's all about. And I don't have the build. Or do I have a build? I do have a build. Let me show you the build here in a second. Rechargeable Blast, deal damage to target creature. Again, deal damage, not really functional against prevent damage creatures. But it's the Major Flux of Genius. Major Flux of Genius, blue-red, support card, emblem 4 token. Whenever you cast a spell, the support deals 6 damage to any target, then draw 2 cards. Okay. For newer players, I just saw somebody in my Discord say, I don't like Rahl. I don't think you may not like the play style, and that I understand. You may not have the right build for it, and that makes it drag. That I understand. But when you build properly for this walker, I have never had him not be an S tier in anything. Peasant builds, limited collections, smaller metas. He's always. I've always kind of reserved to this point. Hey, when the meta reshifts back down to smaller card pools, we'll reevaluate where he is. I've never not had him as an S tier. He's just stupid strong. This is a deck that I have right now. I've kind of spotlighted it already, but you guys get to see it now. Obnixilis, Quiza. He has 8 spell slots, 5 supports. I'm not running any supports in here at all. That's kind of crazy. I know why. So 3 creatures, though. Obnixilis, Quiza for the life loss, and then Captain Ripley Vance for the damage. So I'm not pinging them to death onesie, twosie. I'm actually doing 8 per spell that I'm casting and drawing from Quiza. Time Reversal, Broker's Charm, all of this stuff is just draw, and then double damage to take an extra turn. Really, I probably don't even need Alchemist Gambit. I probably should put something else in there. And Angel Fire Ignition, I probably should reswap those out for other draw cards and just lean into that so Ripley's just hitting the board and doing the things that she needs to. It is what it is. This is a strong deck. It's stupid OP. He is stupid OP. He's absolutely the number 1 walker for the dual color rankings, in my opinion. And there's no arguing about it. That is just what it is. If you have Kasmina in your number 1, I completely get it, but that ain't it for me, man. All right. So to recap, Rahl Izzet Viceroy. I'm sorry, Sorin. I adore you, but you need to go away, dude. So Ral is its number 1. Number 2 is Kasmina. 3 is Teferi L. Jackson. Yeah, I think that's a fair spot for him. And there's no question to me, these are the top 3. Like, absolutely, these are the top 3 of the 2 color walkers. Everything else out of here, subjectable. Garruk Curse Huntman, Domri, number 5. Teferi Hero Dominari, probably closer to 10 on this list because of his mana gains are so bad. Daxos the Returned, number 7. Kalemni, super strong. Kaya Intangible Slayer, now her second ability is just ridiculous. Ashiok Sculptor of Fears, again, and I could throw a caveat here, he ranks as high, or they rank as high as this, simply because Shieldred is stupid strong. For any discard abilities that are out there, and it might be one that could probably get pushed in the top 20, and maybe Quintoris could take a spot because it's just good as a walker all by themselves. So I would understand that, right? Number 11 for Quintoris, canned, whatever. Angrath's my number 12. That's me. Fight me. Kaido Dancing Shadow if you have Tainted Adversary. Tezzeret Master of the Bridge if you have artifacts and you like that style. Huatli if you have Galta. Go get Galta. Chase Galta. Urza Lord Protector. So much synergy for 16. Nissa Shadowed Battles, oh my gosh, I love Nissa. 17, probably barely top 20, maybe honorable mention for most, but definitely one fun to have. Dungeon Master might rank a little bit lower, but he is really strong. At 18, 19, Kaya Orzhov Usurper, I can't stand her. Saheeli Filigree Master, maybe. And then the honorable mentions for sure in here, Arlen Pax Hope and Samet the Tested for you guys. All right, that's it, my friends. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Come into the Discord. Let me know. Share your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think about all this. And yeah, let's debate me, fight me. With all that said, I appreciate you. I hope you had a happy holiday. I hope you have a great new year. If I don't talk to you before then, and more importantly, I appreciate you, man. Thanks very much. If you're not already subscribed, get into the subscription, get into the Discord. There's a link down below. Let me know which decks you'd like to see updated for these guys and some builds, because I'm going to be going through and updating these as we go, and I will be sure to update this list as it changes as we go. But until our next quest, my friends, swords up.